Hi, how are you? This is the Love and Money Show, and today we're going to talk about the stock market and the 12 stocks that the hedge funds love. So, we're going to go over into the world of the stock market. Keep in mind, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, just for educational, informational purposes only. So, first, we're going to start off with what is a hedge fund, first of all. So, a hedge fund is it's a group of private investors. So, it's a group of people, if you can imagine a group of people, they get together and they each invest money, and it's managed by a professional fund manager. So it's a partnership of a group of people that are investing their money. They're private investors, they're investing their money, and this money is being managed by a professional fund manager. And so this is called a hedge fund. And so, a concrete example of a hedge fund, one example is Bridgewater Associates. Have you heard of Bridgewater Associates? I know I have not. So, this is an example of a hedge fund, and this is owned by Ray Dalio. So, we've all heard of Ray Dalio. He is a billionaire investor, and he is a hedge fund manager. And the name of his hedge fund is Bridgewater Associates. Is one of the largest hedge funds in the USA. And so this is this different world of investing. There are a group of people over here that have a group called a hedge fund. And Ray Dalio is a hedge fund manager over his group. And he is a billionaire. Bridgewater Associates. So if the stock market is good enough for this billionaire over here, Ray Dalio, is the stock market good enough for you? That's my question. Because I know there is a lot of uneasiness when it comes to the stock market. So just think of these people when you are trying to decide if you're going to get in the stock market or not. Ray Dalio is in the stock market. He's a billionaire. Warren Buffett is in the stock market. He's one of the wealthiest people in the US. So this is this world of the stock market. Some people grow up investing in their household. For example, I was just listening to a podcast the other day, and there was a guy on there talking about being exposed to the stock market at the age of 10. 10 years old, he was buying stocks. So, the 12 stocks that hedge funds love. They have a list here, and I'll just say the list briefly. Keep in mind, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to invest in these things. These are just the 12 stocks that hedge funds love. Constellation Energy, Danaher, it's spelled Danaher. Fiserv is spelled Fiserv. Humana, we're all familiar with Humana. MasterCard, we're all familiar with MasterCard. ServiceNow, Schwab, we're all familiar with Schwab. Uber, we're familiar with Uber. United Health, we're familiar with United Health. Visa, we're familiar with Visa. Workday and Wells Fargo, we're all familiar with Wells Fargo. So those are the 12 stocks that the hedge funds love. There are also 23 stocks that hedge funds are shorting. So shorting is over in the world of trading. You have a lot of traders out here, people that trade stocks. So the hedge funds, they trade stocks, and they do something called shorting. So what is shorting? Shorting is when you borrow shares and then you sell them. So you don't own them. So you're short. So for an example, give you a concrete example. Say that I go get somebody else's car that's in the car dealership. I walk into this name Cadillac, for example. I walk into the Cadillac dealership, I get on their parking lot, and I go get a car that doesn't belong to me. And then I take this car and I sell it to some guy across the street. So I borrowed this car from the Cadillac dealership and I sold it to this guy across the street. So because this car is not mine, I don't own it. This dealership is short a car. That car is not there anymore. They are short a car. I didn't own it, but I went and borrowed it and I sold it. So I just shorted that car. I borrowed it, then I sold it. So I shorted the car and the car is short. So that is shorting. You borrow something you don't own and you sell it to somebody else. So that's what the big hedge funds are doing. They're doing something called shorting. They are borrowing shares of stocks that they don't own and then they are selling them. And that is shorting. That this is the world of trading. So the hedge funds are heavy in trading. So there are 23 stocks that hedge funds are shorting. I'll just say them real quickly. They are shorting AbbVie, Chevron, IBM, Coca-Cola, Realty Income, AT&T, AMD, Disney, Intel, McDonald's, PepsiCo, Walmart, Broadcom, Ford, J&J, 3M, Pfizer, Exxon, Costco, Home Depot, JP Morgan Chase, Moderna, Procter and Gamble. This is the 23 stocks that the hedge funds are shorting. So this is the world of trading when it comes to shorting. So as far as trading goes, I don't dabble too much in trading. I did learn how to trade, but when you're first learning, you're losing money. You're not making money. But the fact that these big hedge funds are trading shows you that there is a lot of money to be made in trading. The thing is that you have to be able to do it correctly. If you're not doing it correctly, you're going to be losing money. So I kind of stay away from that trading thing. That is if you have money to play with. All right. There is this segment who are making millions trading. They trade in the White House. The hedge funds are trading. But when you're first learning, you're going to be losing money. So I don't mess around with trading. I don't have money to play with right now. So maybe in the future, but not right now. Right now, I'm doing the index funds, and then I also do single stocks. So, what is the bottom line of this? The bottom line is if stocks are good enough for the billionaire Ray Dalio, who is a billionaire, mind you, he is an investor in the stock market, a hedge fund manager. If stocks are good enough for Ray Dalio, are they good enough for you? If stocks are good enough for Warren Buffett, are they good enough for you? There is a lot of money to be made in the stock market. And if you're not in, you are missing out. So get in, learn as much as you can. The more you learn, the more comfortable you will get with it. And then, like I said, some people grow up. That some people are exposed to this in the early age, and then other people find out about it later. But what's important is that you just found out about it, period. Period. Because some people will never be invested in the stock market. Of course, they hear the words They see it on television, but as far as actually doing it, some people will never do it. So, better late than never. All right. So this is the Love and Money Show. If you like the show, please hit the like button. It helps the channel. Please hit subscribe if you're not a subscriber and the notification bell next to it so that you won't miss the episode. You're subscribing for business ideas. What I do is I bring people onto the show. I interview them and they are people with successful businesses. So they share business ideas with you. So subscribe so you can tune in for those interviews. Also, yours truly will be in a play, in a production. It is coming up in February. So I will put the website at the bottom. And if you want to come out and have some fun, come join me. Come see me. I'll put the link at the bottom. Thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your night. Bye for now.